Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
Well, after we were kind of signed off, we have a person here that, Joe, I think you should introduce, but we had to get him to get the stick-on nail off of his pant legs before we could interview him.
which he probably blamed on his daughter, by the way.
Yes, well, another, awesome guest to have on the show, Lance Potter, and this has got to be my favorite subject, moving, because I love to move. I'm lying. That's why companies like you exist, because I hate doing it. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Lance, and who you are and what your company is and all that sort of thing.
Well, first thing I better say is that I am married to the most beautiful, supermodel, incredibly attractive, wonderful woman in the world. Am I right?
Hey, let me see.
Yeah, he's showing up.
Absolutely. Wow. Absolutely.
Wife, out there, you should be,
so the press on nail, I do believe now.
Okay.
Yes, you should be proud. He's over here showing off your pictures for the audience who couldn't see what you were doing there.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's my beautiful wife, Karen, and our wonderful kids, Christopher and Anna, and that was Anna's press-on nail stuck on my pants.
And what's funny is I can
And then my
relate,
son,
by the way,
Austin.
because I've got 1-in-1, and same thing happens. Trust me, I've had them all over the place.
Well, I am actually the general manager of the Houston division of Firefighting's Finest Moving and Storage. We're a local moving company. Actually started in Fort Worth. My brother, Derek Potter, started the company about 15 years ago with his partner, Pat Dodson. And they're still firefighters up there in Fort Worth. And we are owned and operated by off-duty firefighters. Most of the guys that work for me are firemen, whether they're full-time firefighters or volunteer firefighters. And we also have a few guys with prior military experience. We've got a guy that was awarded the Purple Heart, took a couple bullets in Afghanistan, and have a couple of full-time guys to help fill in the gaps when the other guys are at the station.
Different kind of firefight, but still appropriate.
Right.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about your business and things like that, and you actually don't connect like a lot of lines connect. Sometimes they'll go out of Houston with your truck, and then they'll connect with another truck, but you take it all the way through the route. Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. We offer dedicated trucks. The customer's belongings are in our care, custody, and control the entire time. We don't subcontract out to other companies. We don't pass it on to other companies. We don't pick up and drop off other customers' furniture at the same time. So we have a dedicated truck, especially nowadays with parasites and bacterias, and people don't want their items being commingled. They don't want to not know where their stuff is. And so that's why we offer these dedicated trucks. The driver, the lead man on the job, at the end of the job, he's part of the family. And that's why we get a lot of repeat business, a lot of referral business. That's how our businesses continue just
Now, who
explode.
came up with the concept? Let's get those firemen, because I know the way they are scheduled a lot of times, they're on for 5 days and off for maybe 10 days and something, the way they schedule them, and it's different for each department. Who came up with the concept? Let's be movers.
Well, that was my brother and his partner, Pat, and they're both firefighters, full-time firefighters up in Fort Worth. And unfortunately, these guys that are laying their lives on the line don't make enough to be able to survive. It's just barely enough to be able to pay the bills, so all of them pretty much have to have a second job. So they came up with this concept, and they fine-tuned it through the years and built an extremely successful company because of the attention to detail, because of the attention to professionalism. Our goal is to exceed our customers' expectations. We don't want to just meet them, we want to exceed them. And so we've really focused on that spirit of excellence. And that's helped it grow and given these guys good pay. We pay them very well. We have the best equipment. We do the best training. So we're doing things right, and they appreciate that. And so they spread the word to their buddies at the station, and they'll call us too. So, it does make it a little bit more difficult on the scheduling because we'll get them 2 or 3 days a week because they're at the station. So we do have to be a little bit more flexible with that. But when you got high-quality guys like that in your home moving your items, who else can you trust if you can't trust a firefighter?
I think it must be great, though. You don't have to walk into this building that's on fire. You can actually walk into this building that's not on fire and get out take things out. I want to obviously give a big shout-out to all of our firefighters out there who protect this wonderful, Houston, surrounding area, all over the nation, Fort Worth, as you mentioned. Because they truly perform a service that is valuable to all of us. And we don't realize it until you actually need those services.
And you know what I noticed about firemen? They're always community givers.
Absolutely.
They're always out there involved in their communities, especially in the areas in which they work and things like that. But you must be doing something right, because you told me before we got on the show that you're building 2 new custom trucks.
We've got custom trucks being built right now. We've got 2 more that are going to be delivered here very soon, and then we're going to continue to expand our fleet. I wouldn't be surprised if the Houston branch surpasses the volume of the Fort Worth branch.
Well, we are a number one destiny point for people coming for jobs right here in Houston, Texas. So I think you couldn't posture yourself any better than to be in Houston, Texas.
And I got to say, as the director of marketing for my company, your company concept is a marketing guy's dream. So it's very. How hard is it to market? The lovable firefighter guy. That's who doesn't like firefighters. So
of course, that
brilliant name choice and business concept. I love it.
Along with that 12-month calendar that you pass out to everybody else.
That's it.
We do get a lot of requests for that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, man, I can't tell you that there's probably nothing that I hate doing more than moving. And
how would you know you hadn't done it in so long? You couldn't remember.
That's because I remember how much I don't like it.
Well, Kimberly wants that
Kimberly's
new house.
dying to move.
Yeah. So I swore I would never move again unless I had a company that could literally pack up all my stuff and unpack it all when we got to the new place. I don't want to pack a darn thing. So tell us a little bit about the services on that side of what you offer, because that's like the top of my list of I hate to move. So,
well, we do it all. I mean, from start to finish. We tell folks your job is to sit back, fan yourself, and drink a glass of cold tea and watch us do the work and do the sweating. So we'll do it all. We'll come in, we'll pack everything up. You don't have to lift a finger. We've got the highest quality supplies and materials that we bring as well at discounted prices. So we'll bring everything that we need to get your entire house packed up. We do specialty items as well. We actually specialize in pianos, baby grand pianos. We've taken them up flights of stairs. We'll do gun safes. We'll do antiques. You name it, we can do it. We actually do a lot of items that other moving companies can't or won't do, and I'll get that phone call a lot as well. So,
saying you specialize in gun safes in Texas is actually a pretty huge point. So,
and they are heavy.
Some of our friends have small armories, so we know how valuable that service could be. So,
one thing we don't move is animals. At least it's not intentionally.
Rob, they can't move you then.
Tiger.
Well.
Rob, you're out of the equation.
That's okay. I think I'll stay where I am right now anyway.
So, with this being a relocation show, and obviously that's a hot button point for a mover, what are some of the headaches that you commonly see people having to deal with, and is there some advice that when you're telling folks that are looking at moving in a city and they're hunting for a moving company, what should they be looking for?
Folks have a lot of very useful tools at their fingertips with the internet now. You can look at the Better Business Bureau and definitely check out a mover on there. We're also members of the Houston Movers Association, which is a very prestigious organization of moving companies here in Houston. We're members in high standing with all the national organizations, the American Moving and Storage Association, as well as the Southwest Movers Association. So there's a lot of organizations that keep up with moving companies so that you can make sure that the company that you're using is definitely a legitimate company, that they're licensed, that they're insured, that they have positive reviews. Check Angie's List, check Yelp. And we encourage folks to look us up on those websites because you can't fake those reviews. And so you can see firsthand experience from other people. One of the very, very important items that people tend to forget that you would think would be the first thing they think of is being prepared. People, for some reason, they wait until the last minute to say, well, we're moving this weekend. Maybe we ought to get some movers. Maybe we ought to start packing up.
Yeah.
And then I'll ask them, well, how long have you lived in the house? 20 years. And usually there's a little bit more preparation involved. So we can come in and do it all for you. That's a pretty big undertaking that may take a couple of days to pack, move, and unpack. So
I don't really care. That's exactly how it's going to go down for me.
Then we'll take care of you.
So I know we're already coming up on a break at the bottom of the hour here, and this is a hard break, so we want to make sure folks know how to get a hold of you, Lance, and if they are looking at moving, how do they reach you?
There's a couple of ways. Our phone number is 281-353-1960, and they can also go to our local website is www.1960movers.com, 1960movers.com.
Awesome. Well, we're going to be up against a hard break.
We are coming up against a break right now.
Lance is sticking around. So
Lance is sticking around. So is Kimberly. We have another guest coming up after the hard break.
It's just an action-packed show.
It's an action-packed show. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Scarlet billows start to spread. Fancy glows, though, where's old Maggie Heath, babe? So there's never a trace around